Grit means to me that if you want to be successful at all in this world, unless you of course inherit or become what we call a silver spooner, that you have to work very hard, and you have to have passion at for what you're doing, and you have to pray sometimes, because sometimes the only thing that's going to help you is the guy upstairs, even though you're trying to go in the right direction. You're following your direction that you believe you should follow. I was poor when I was a child, and when I had my family, I wanted to succeed, and I had also the fear of failure. So I think there's some kind of maybe that's reverse grit, but it's part of the grit. It's part of what makes the grit, is the fact that I had a huge, tremendous fear of failure. So I kept fighting no matter what. I had some mentors along the way, because nobody taught me anything. We moved to Reno, Nevada. We had no money. We lived in a tree fort. We lived at the New Washoe Motel in the beginning. I worked my way all the way through college. I made sure my wife worked and got through college at the same time as me. And so that work ethic is what was transformed into the business world. When I got into the business world, I started out in the insurance business, and for those of you who don't understand the business, it's a very difficult business to succeed in. A guy used to say to me, insurance can be one of the highest paying hard jobs, or it can be one of the lowest paying easy jobs, and it's exactly true. So you want to write the big accounts, you fight for the big accounts, you've got competition, you've got issues with your clients, you've got issues with insurance companies, you've got all aspects of business in that business that you learn about in college. So you have to persevere all that. You have to read people, you have to feel people, you have to be passionate, you have to become passionate, you have to have empathy. Along the way, I got to say that I did have some very good mentors. My father-in-law, for one. I'm not sure that if I didn't have his influence in my life, or what would have happened. I also had a gentleman, George Cardenas, who used to own the Sundowner, and I can remember times when I'd get down and think that I wasn't going to, because when the recession hit, the last recession, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and he would say things to me like, Richard, just stay the course. So not only do you have to have the grit, but I think you have to have the discipline to stay the course, no matter what the circumstances are. I think follow through is, I don't know that it's a form of grit, but it's part of it's I guess you might say it's part of grit, because the perseverance is the follow through, doing what other people don't do. If you want to be successful at whatever you're doing, you're going to do what the next man's not willing to do. For example, in the insurance business, just making that phone call to the client to make sure that he knows that you're working on his issues or his part. A lot of people in my field or my business wouldn't make that call, and you can see it in the medical field today. They don't call you back half the time. They don't follow up with a phone call to make sure everything's fine. But clients always appreciated that follow up, if you will. And again, when you're fighting for the client or your associate, you're fighting for them, you have to follow up with the individual insurance company as well, on even those times you don't want to necessarily talk to them. You have to call them, because things fall between the cracks, and particularly in our society today, where people just email and that's it. I think sometimes it's what's in you more than how you can encourage somebody to do it, right? Like kids who grow up sometimes a little privileged, they don't necessarily have that built-in grit because they've never had to fight from the bottom. I mean, if it's one thing to start out from the bottom, let's say a ladder is 20 rungs, and to get to the top you got to climb all 20 rungs. Well, nowadays some of the kids only have to they start out at 18 and expect to be at 20 in no time at all. As a matter of fact, that's one of the issues I think in our society today, is a lot of these kids coming out of college don't necessarily have the grit because they think it's all there for them. So